the 4-play Platinum Trophy in Ratchet and Clank All for One on the PlayStation 3 was definitely a long time coming for me, because, well, I first started playing this game way back when it came out on PS Plus back in 2012. And after playing it for a couple of weeks, I got about halfway into the game and unlocked 12 of the 45 trophies, and then I just sort of stopped playing, and I didn't come back to it until 2013, where then I managed to get all the way to the end of the game, unlocking 31 of the 45 trophies, but I ended up getting stuck on the final boss. I just couldn't defeat it because I just wasn't strong enough. So I eventually just gave up trying, and I didn't come back to it again until many years later. In fact, it wasn't until 2024 when I finally came back and finally defeated the final boss.
But wait! There's more!
But after that, I stopped playing it again, and I didn't end up getting the Platinum Trophy until 2025, which meant that I was an old man by that point, and it actually took me 12 years and 4 months to get the Platinum. But why did it take so long? Well, it was mainly because of these 4 co-op trophies that made me quit the Platinum journey, that turned out to actually be pretty easy to unlock solo. So the first trophy that I thought was going to be really hard was the Matador trophy, which requires you to avoid getting hit by these charging beetles in a certain level. And whenever I tried to get through this level with Ratchet, I would always get hit as I tried to jump over these beetles when they came into attack. So I just didn't think this was going to be an easy trophy to do, especially when you have to do it in co-op and not have your AI partner get hit. But it turns out you can actually just do this solo with the Clank AI, because it doesn't matter if they actually get hit, that doesn't void the trophy. So all you have to do to easily get this trophy is just use Captain Quark, because he has this shield ability, if you level him up a bit, that can protect him from any attacks. So you just stand in front of the beetle, and as soon as they charge, just activate the shield, and it will just go through you without you getting hit. And then as they stumble, once they hit into something, you can then just jump on the beetle and take them out really quickly. So this was just a laughably easy trophy. The A Moment of Reflection trophy requires 2 players. This is one that you cannot do as just a single player, because when you play it with the AI, the reflectors are different in this level, so you have to play with 2 controllers or 2 human players. And I did this with just 2 controllers, doing it myself, controlling both Ratchet and Clank. And the aim is to use these light beams to destroy these glass structures and activate these switches. But what you have to do is not bounce the beams into those rectangular glass mirrors, because if you hit it into that and that bounces the laser to hit one of the objects, you'll void the trophy. So you have to sort of bend the lasers around these mirrors to not use the reflectors. And this one, I just thought, oh well, it's going to be really hard to do this. I haven't got a co-op partner, and I didn't think I could do it on my own using 2 controllers, because I thought it'd be a bit too awkward. But after I looked online, I saw that it was very possible. You just need to put 1 controller on the floor and get him into place, and just sort of use 1 hand for each controller. And that's exactly what I did. The final section of the level, where you do these light beams, was a little bit trickier, because you have to be really careful where you're positioning the lasers. But again, it was one that ended up just being surprisingly easy to unlock by myself. The Night Lights Are for WIMPS trophy required you to get through the whole level without using any of these like charging stations to charge up the thing that you're carrying through these dark like swamp areas, because if it gets too dark you'll just instantly get killed and fail the level. So you have to sort of drag this thing through and charge it up whenever it starts to run out of light. And this was one that I just thought I wouldn't be able to do it on my own, because I wouldn't be able to collect all of the light crystals that are in the level that will just charge it up without voiding the trophy and defeat all the enemies and get through without just having extra help. So it was one that I just thought, I'm not going to be able to get it, especially when I came back in like 2024 or whatever, and the online was pretty much dead. But again, this is another one that it is actually doable solo. The trick was to just drag it through and just run, grab whatever crystals are lying on the floor that are kind of in your path, along your route through the level, but don't really go out of your way to get every single one. Just run through, and then only really stop when you have to fight enemies to progress. So yeah, this was one that it was a lot easier than I initially anticipated it being. Though I did fail it on one of my attempts, because after doing the first part of the level, where you put the thing in the like the slot and it disappears and you progress on foot, I ended up getting killed instantly by one of the plants as I climbed up the stairs. Even though there was like light sources nearby, it just killed me, so I had to restart the whole level and do it again. And one of the annoying things about this is that the level is quite long, and this isn't a short thing that you have to do. You do it twice throughout a level, and they're quite long each time, so if you do fail it, it's kind of annoying to have to replay it. But yeah, for the most part, you just need to keep moving, grab all the crystals that are on your path, and then, like I said, only stop when enemies are swarming you and the AI is kind of struggling. And it's one that helps. It's easier if you have like the I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the vacuum thing that changes all the creatures into like sheep or whatever it was. I can't remember now, because that weapon's like really overpowered in this, and it will just deal with all the enemies quite quickly. But any like leveled up weapon will be good here to just dispatch all the enemies as quick as possible. You can see here I'm just like in these footage, I'm just like transforming all the enemies, so it's a lot easier doing it that way. But yeah, this was one that was surprisingly easy in the end. The bomb disposal trophy requires you to blow up 85% of the exploding crates throughout this level, and this was one trophy that I remember back in the day when I was looking at the list before I gave up, that I thought, yeah, I'm not going to be able to get that on my own, because I was hearing horror stories of it on the internet at the time, because it's one where you have to go through the whole level, and one of the annoying things about this game is all of the unskippable cutscenes in the game. Like in every level there'll be loads, and they last for quite a while, and when it's an online game it's really stupid that they kept all these in, but I'm guessing they just mask loading screens. But yeah, it really just drags out all of these like missed trophies when you have to watch all these cutscenes again when you don't care and you just want to skip them. So basically, as you're running through this really long level, you'll occasionally come across a bunch of exploding crates, and what you have to do for this trophy is physically set them off yourself. So you just have to basically just throw your wrench at them. You can't have enemies blow them up, it won't count then, and you have to just basically make sure you get 80% of them. But what makes this trophy hard is that in certain parts of the level where you'll find these crates, there's collapsible floor, so if you blow up the wrong crate at the wrong time, it might cause all of the floor to disappear and you can't progress and you'll end up dying, or it might end up blocking you off from other crates, or it might make other crates fall down and not count as being exploded, and then you'll just find that when you get to the end of the level you haven't got enough to get that 80%. So you've got to be quite careful with what you're doing, and you've also got to be quite quick, because once you detonate one, obviously all the floor's falling apart, so you've got to make sure you quickly go through and get all the others before all of the ground falls away and you end up dying. Because even though there are checkpoints in this level, if you die once, it'll reset all the crates in the whole level, and you can't always go back to get them. So, you could smash 70%, die, and then restart from that checkpoint and get the rest of them, but not end up getting it because you've only got 20% of the crates, because it's reset all the others once you died, and that just makes it really frustrating. And it is a long-winded trophy, but when I actually sat down and tried to do it myself, just solo, I actually found it was quite easy, because the AI doesn't rush ahead and blow them up. So that was one of the things I was worried about. I was thinking they would just destroy them on their own and cause me to lose a load. But yeah, for the most part, as long as when you get to those sections where the ground's going to fall if you blow one up, as long as you just think about the order you do them in, it isn't that bad. And yeah, it surprised me how easy it was, considering I was hearing all the hype behind it being a tough trophy. So yeah, that was my experience with this game, and I guess the moral of this video is, a trophy may sound hard, but don't ever let that stop you from going for it, because you never know, they might end up being really easy for you. So yeah, I guess the 4 BS trophies in Ratchet and Clank All for One deserve a BS trophy rating of.